if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Mana Blitz Moskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
I think after a year and a half of playing with Zoom, you'd know how to use it.
Well, I don't think you can join until I start it.
No, this
Also,
one said
you're
you had
high.
another meeting. You're hot. No, the guy who's joining us is high. That's Mike Shue.
Who else are you meeting with, asshole?
Yeah, exactly.
I just,
Are you doing another podcast?
Are you in your house?
I am.
Josh,
yeah.
can you look to the right for me?
Nope, I can't. Thank you.
Can you look to the left for me?
No.
There's somebody coming up on your right.
Well, they're just gonna have to kill me. Yeah, I'm in my my house. I can't turn my neck. I can't look up or down or
Do
sideways
it.
because I was painting my old
Who's
apartment.
fucking doing this?
That's not how you paint. I know you don't know how, Isaiah, because you hire people to do it for you.
Actually, Josh, that is how you paint in some scenarios.
So shut the fuck up, homeowner.
Kid Rock says, "And paint your wife white." I believe that
Ooh.
was a line from one of his songs. I think that's Cowboy.
Oh
There you
man!
go.
But
How you feeling, Josh?
Semen reference, Josh. It's about semen.
Oh, is it?
Oh, how come
Yes.
you're not wearing a neck brace?
Oh, because I'm not.
Because he
Ted
did it
Kennedy.
yesterday, and he's not fucking. He doesn't take care of himself. He's been this way for 24 hours. He has not gone to the doctor.
Oh,
Nothing.
Jesus, Josh, you gonna
Because
be all right, man?
I just tweaked my neck. I took a muscle relaxer, knocked me out.
Yeah.
I think the issue is that I'm going to be 30 next month, and this is what 30 looks like.
You fucking millennials don't know how to take care of yourselves.
Wait,
You really
you use
blaming your
millennial as an excuse for
problems.
everything.
No, you're an idiot, and that's your age. Next.
You're really blaming your physical problems on being 30 years old. You know what I have to
Yes.
say about that? And again, I'm not a doctor, but fuck you.
Right, fuck you,
Seriously, fuck you.
Tony V.
Yes.
Tony.
Tony V.
How are you?
This fucking kid's turning 30, and he's saying he's old. Fuck him.
Please. Are you kidding me?
Right?
I tweaked my neck, and it just seems like a 30-year-old injury. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
fuck
turn.
Are you fucking kidding me? You're not even.
Pussy.
I mean, you're not even close to being old.
I am still 29, but
Yeah. I got shit I forgot about older than you.
Right?
You know, somebody wrote me the other day and had an article, and they go, "Hey, you opened for Chuck Berry in 1986," and I go, "I'm going to take your word on that." It said so in the paper. I must have, but I have absolutely no recollection, because the next question is, how was Chuck Berry as a guy? And I'm going to say, I don't even remember opening for Chuck Berry, so I have no clue.
How do you forget opening for Chuck Berry?
Well, that's called the 80s, my friend.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, that explains half
there
of
was
it. Yeah.
there was a lot that went on. Like, it's one of those things I tell people, you know, when all this Me Too stuff was going on, and if someone came to me and said, you know, in 1988 you did such and such, I'd go, could have been. I might have.
Mm.
Maybe.
And if I did, sorry, but I have no clue. I don't recall a bit of it.
Yeah.
it was just
I
a
mean,
few
so-
years where the
Yeah.
tape wasn't rolling.
Yeah, that's all. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure it's archived somewhere. I mean, that's like these things keep popping up, but it's not in my head. You know,
Well,
my head. I got
it's
other
more
useless.
Like the tape was, it's more like the tape was erased.
Yes.
It was
Yeah,
erased
like some-
by a magnet.
like
in the
like I had a
90s.
magnet
Yeah,
pillow.
not like that with the 90s. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's like in the 90s, that magnet for me was marijuana,
Yeah,
and most of that was erased. Yeah,
sure.
you know, so
How has that changed from now? You get just as high.
no, I don't. I can't get just as high. I've hit my limit. So
No,
I can,
now
you
he
can
does
only
cocaine
get-
like an adult.
You
Oh,
can only
they-
get so high and then it just stops, and then you're just wasting your weed at that point. So I just,
I feel like the
Just
years
a
that you got
time.
involved with the Harvest Cup might have been some of the higher ones because they just gave you all that fucking pot because you were a judge.
well, that's the thing. You can only smoke so much weed, and then you're as high as you can get, man. That's what happens.
I mean,
You're
I
just
agree with you
wasting
there.
weed after that. Yeah, right. You can't get any higher than your body lets you, and then you're just burning weed for nothing.
Why doesn't that
You
work
know.
with drink? Because I know that when people get to a certain drunk, they keep fucking drinking and become bigger assholes. I know I do that.
Well, no, there is the pass out level.
True.
You know what I mean? That's nature's way of going, you're done. Yeah. And nature has a way of leveling itself off if you
choking
don't.
you off.
Right.
Right. It's like pulling the cord
Right.
on the bus,
Right.
or
It's
the
right.
emergency stop on the train.
Right.
You
When
know?
you see somebody sprawl on a couch, with their tongue hanging out, drooling on themselves,
Mhm.
you
Right.
go, well, that's just nature's stop sign. That's all
Right,
it is.
right. Why do I still have my fucking boots and my jacket on? Jesus.
Right.
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 What's the-
Right.
And no
Yeah.
pants,
Right.
you know.
right. And no
Why do I
pants.
have boots and jackets on? It's July.
Right. I'm fucked up. That's awesome.
We
Saw you
all
at,
go through it.
What are
Saw
you
you
doing
at
these
Giggles the
days,
other night.
man?
Giggles. He was at Giggles the other night with Lenny. It was fucking
Okay.
awesome.
Oh, that's right. You were
Yep.
there? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's good. I got a weekend coming up there on the 16th and 17th.
That's cool.
And that's basically home for me.
Yep.
The tent has been working and it's great. So
I love the what do they call it? The Prince tent. And it's just fucking funny because you're like, I don't know if it was you or one of the guys, might have been Lenny. Someone's like, here's my career. Here I am. I'm in a fucking tent
Fucking
on
tent.
Route 1 in
Route
Saugus.
1. And couldn't be happier.
Right. Fucking
I mean,
cars
the thing-
flying by.
Right. That's the other thing. I mean, and then we set up a green room outside with we have
It's not a green
folding
room. There were
chairs
fucking 4 chairs and you were smoking cigars in the parking lot.
in the park. That's our green room.
The green room used to be
Right.
the dumpster.
Right. You're right. We moved. We're in a classier location now.
Right.
Because we actually have cars and not the dumpster.
There's a Toyota, the guys, and a fucking Kia. And they're just sitting in the middle fucking
that's it,
smoking
right.
stogies.
That's what we do. I'm trying to get a door so we can keep out the riffraff.
Oh, yeah. I walked right over. You'd be like, excuse me, door's closed.
Yeah.
Can't come in.
And everyone's just sitting around saying, "Do you
Yeah.
remember opening for Chuck Berry?"
Chuck
No,
Berry,
I don't remember.
right, right. And apparently I was called an intellectual Rodney Dangerfield,
Oh.
which I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if that's good.
I have no idea if it's good or bad, but it seemed like he meant it in a good way, but I don't know. Because unlike a lot of my contemporaries, I'm not still doing my act from '86, so I don't know what that means.
Hey, please tell me that story in your bio about being the gorilla for American Tourister is true.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Are you serious? You dressed up like a gorilla for 'cause
4
I remember
years. For
I
4
remember
years.
the first commercials when I was a little kid
Yes.
in the
Yes.
70s. But you
I
were-
was not that guy.
okay.
I was the second incarnation where they put a
Wow.
voice to the gorilla.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Good. That was, sounded like a good gig. Was it a good gig?
It bought my house, the gorilla. I had nothing to do with it. That was all gorilla right there. And I have a pretty famous story about that I've told on other platforms, so it's not like this is a new story. But one time we were doing I think I was 2 or 3 years into my contract, so it was going pretty well. We liked each other. I was getting a little tired of dressing up in a gorilla suit, but you got to do what you got to do in show business. So so one year we were down in Atlanta, and I was doing the Jerry Lewis telethon from Atlanta, their satellite, and the honored guests, the celebrity guests, if you were me in the gorilla suit, a guy in a Spuds McKenzie suit, a bear dog,
Oh my
and
God. Oh my
and
God.
and Ronald McDonald.
Wow.
We were the three, celebrity mascots at the time. So, and you got to remember, early September, Atlanta, it's about 97 degrees, 90% humidity. We've been in our costumes all day. It's just brutal, And so they decide that they want to teach us a traditional Southern type clog dance to put money in the fishbowl.
What?
Yeah. So it's live. We're in a parking lot at, some Piggly Wiggly or whatever. And Ronald McDonald's got a magic trailer connected to the stage that we're on. And they got a lady in a frilly hoop skirt. It's going to teach the 3 celebrity mascots a traditional clog dance, at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Oh,
Couldn't be any hotter. It's just insane. And then, so they teach us these basic moves, and the kids are going to applaud and cheer and put money in the fishbowl. And, Jerry Lewis is going to make the extra $60 he needs to finally cure that disease. So we start doing the clog type dance, and it's hotter than hell, And what they don't tell us is every 30 seconds the woman's gonna go, "Do you want them to go faster?"
Oh,
And
God.
I don't know how you've lived your life, but never in the history of "Do you want them to go faster" has any group of humans ever went, "Nah, that's fast enough. I think that's just fine. There's no need to make them work any more than they have to. It's hot." So, of course, the kids are going faster, faster. The music goes faster. We start dancing faster. And it's just brutal. I'm in 3 layers of gorilla attire. Ronald is not allowed to let people see him sweat because it freaks him out. We have no idea. We have no idea. Like, he doesn't freak him out anyway.
Right.
Right. And we have no idea who the guy in the Spuds McKenzie suit is. He just shows up. So we start dancing faster and faster and faster. I'm wheezing. I look at Ronald. He looks at me and he goes, "I don't think the dog's going to make it." And we look over, and Spuds has stopped doing a traditional clog type Southern dance and is now broken into a wavy kind of a Grateful Dead sort of trippy sort of thing. And no sooner does he say this that the dog just goes down, boom.
Oh.
And it was a vinyl record at the time. It skips and comes to a screeching halt. The dog's on the deck. Ronald goes, "I'm sweating. I'm out of here." Runs back into the magic trailer. I'm left staring at this passed out dog. The lady has lost her composure. She's going, "You got to do something. The dog is," and the kids are yelling, "The gorilla killed the dog." And it's just mayhem. And so I grab the guy and I drag him down the stairs, behind the magic trailer and the stage. And I rip open his suit, and I get the distinct whiff of his product.
Oh, no.
This guy was fucking hammered.
Oh,
They had
no.
sent
Oh, no.
sent a Spuds McKenzie suit because this event bought so much beer that they just sent the suit, and one of the ladies put their husband in it, and it's this Southern maniac, and he's shit-faced. And now passed out. So the woman goes, "You got to do something." I go, "Lady, I take my gorilla head off. My
Oh, no.
makeup's all runny. My hair is wet. It's just, I stink. It's just awful." And the woman goes, I go, "I don't know what to do. I'm a gorilla. Get somebody. There's got to be, ambulance
I'm
somewhere."
a gorilla.
Right.
I don't know
What do I
I'm a
know? What do
gorilla.
I
Right.
know?
I'm an ape. I have no knowledge of
So,
medical
right.
anything. Yeah.
So I'm certainly not giving him mouth to mouth. I've heard about Southern gentlemen, and I know where their mouths have been. So I think to myself better, and I pick the guy up, literally take his head off the Spuds, and I start slapping him like you see in a movie, like boom, boom, boom. I'm just whacking the shit out of this guy. Now the kids are crying, "The gorilla's killing them more." Blah blah blah.
The kids are watching this whole thing.
Whole thing. They've peeked around the corner. It's just awful. It's the worst thing. And the guy, I lay the guy back down. I see the EMTs coming finally. The guy lays back down. He's out. I go, "I don't know what to do." Here come the EMTs. Just as that happens, he sits bolt straight up, like in a movie, like he'd come back from the dead. And his first words out of his mouth is, "I need a beer."
Oh yeah.
And I go, "Dude, you need a lot of beer." and I look up and there's Ronald in the window of the Magic trailer just laughing at us. Like he had just pussied out completely and ran.
I love he gets a fucking Magic trailer.
Oh,
While you're
yeah,
out there trying to
the-
fucking fix spuds.
Well,
Yeah,
that-
no. He just went air conditioned trailer, man. He can't let the kids. He was the official Ronald
Ronald.
McDonald.
that's
Yeah, the gorilla
McDonald's
had
thing
no
right there.
such. We had no such clause in our contract.
I have a friend who was a Ronald McDonald for a couple of years. He said it was really good money.
Oh,
Except
yeah.
He had to travel a ton up and
Yeah.
down the East Coast, go out to Vegas a few times. A lot of big events, a lot of big charity events. You know, you hire out McDonald's.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
some
Oh,
food.
yeah.
But one
That-
and someplace in New Jersey, I think he said, he showed up and there was another Ronald McDonald.
Oh no.
Oh,
And so
showdown.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Isaiah. So he was like, "Look, the so and so back at whatever said this was my gig," and the other guy said, "No, I was promised this gig. This was a makeup gig for something." And they started getting into it, and then they started yelling at each other. And
Oh.
the kid-
Oh man.
they didn't see it, but they
I
could
would-
hear the yelling. And then the guy took a swing at him. And then all these guys kind of got in and they had to hold a couple of Ronald McDonald's back from each other. And that's when he said, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home. I quit.
Oh, and that was before cell phone video, I bet,
I know.
right?
my
Oh, man, that would have been. Yeah,
was
someone would
really
have had that on
yeah.
video. Now.
Oh, that's like two mall Santas showing up at the same mall.
same. Yeah.
You make a lot of money.
Oh
doing
man.
that stuff.
I always picture the
Yeah.
mall Santas are gonna be like Artie Lang in fucking in Elf, where the elf goes,
Yes.
"You're not Santa. You smell like beef and cheese."
Right. You
Jeez.
sit on a throne of lies.
You sit upon a throne of lies.
I
yeah.
know Santa. No, you don't. What? Can you picture?
He's not
two,
Santa.
Like fully revved up on drugs, Artie Langs in Santa suits, fucking going at it.
Dude, I had to be a Santa at a Harley Davidson dealership for a Christmas in July promotion.
Oh
A
God.
few years ago, and I was driving up. I didn't know until I was halfway there, and the sales guy called me and said, "Hey, do you mind putting on the Santa suit for this because their Santa's not showing up?" And I'm
What
like,
sales guy? Because that wasn't me at the time.
"Oh no, that wasn't you. No, it was a Harley Davidson in a place in North Billerica."
No, but who was the AAF sales rep?
Oh, I forget who. he was.
Motherfucker. On the way, can you put on a Santa suit? Fuck
I
you.
show up and I put the Santa suit on. I'm like, this isn't so bad. I didn't have to put the full suit on. I had the hat and the beard and like Santa shorts. So they were like red velvet because it was
Oh,
Christmas in
July.
July,
Sure.
right? And then a Hawaiian shirt. So, and then I had to like strap a pillow, and
Not so bad.
and instead of sitting on a big chair, we sat on this like big ass Harley.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm thinking, all right, this is a piece of cake. I get to sit in the air conditioning. Everything's going outside and the kids will come in and I'll just say, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?" The first kid shows up and it's this like girl, this little girl. She's 4 years old and she's looking at me like this. And I was like, oh my God. And I realized what came with the job. If I fuck this up, I ruin Christmas for this little girl for the rest of her life.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, you scar her.
Right. She won't be able to look at Santa. She's going to hate Christmas. She's going to cry Christmas morning instead of opening presents. And I got really nervous and I started to sweat really badly with the beard on. And so she came up, she sat on my lap and I was like, "Oh, what do you want for Christmas, little girl?" And she wouldn't. say
Creepy.
anything. Yeah, I know, right? I felt weird. I felt gross. I did. And she wouldn't answer me. She was just staring at me. And all I can think of in my head was, she's made me. She made me. I'm dead.
Yep.
I'm dead. I wish I had a wire so they could send the SWAT team in and extract me right now because she's fucking. This guy isn't Santa. He's some weird Chinese dude dressed like Santa and he's sweating too
And he
much.
smells like an Italian sub.
And he smells like cold cuts. And
Yeah.
that was, luckily there weren't a lot of kids. So, and then there was a lot of like middle-aged biker chicks, which were easier to deal with than.
That's the
Sure.
bullshit in fucking radio. And when you all of a sudden some salesperson comes up with this fakakta stupid ass fucking idea, like, can you put on don't even put the whole suit on, just half of it, and just fucking sit at where was this? An AAF event? So where was it in like fucking Fitchburg?
No, it was in North Billerica. It was a big account. It was a Harley
Yeah.
Davidson. They spent a ton of money. And I'll tell you, man, I'll never.
And they paid
do
you
that again.
$50 to put on that fucking suit.
I'll never
Yeah.
do that again. That's too much pressure for me.
That's
Fuck
a
that.
lot. You know, back in the back in the late early 90s, Kiss 108. You remember those people?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they had a thing called the Kiss Bandit that you'd go out and give away money to people.
Okay.
And it was for a time I was the Kiss Bandit.
Okay.
And it was me in a tuxedo with a mask on, and we would go out to, again, dealerships or malls or whatever,
Right.
and hey, who wants to win money? And there was some thing you had to do to win money. And one time they sent me into a bank with a mask on.
Good
screaming,
idea.
Yeah, who wants money? And after
Here's
I
the
did-
question: who the fuck is the sales rep? This is
Right.
Bank of America.
Somebody
They-
thought, someone thought that was a good idea. And then afterwards I go, if you just wanted to fire me, you could have just fired me. There's no way, there's no need to get me killed, because you don't think about it until you're doing it. But I'm in the middle of a bank, pre everything going, who wants money? with a mask on. I go, this is not right. This isn't
Dear
right.
Kiss 108, the account's not that fucking big.
But now in 2021, you need to wear a mask into a bank.
Now you have to.
Fucked up.
It's
I-
normal.
I- couple of
I
my
don't know how you guys found the masks, but everybody was talking about, you go here with a mask, the anonymity and stuff like that, and people still knew it was me. No matter where I go.
Well, because the second you open your mouth, you got a recognizable
Right.
voice.
Yeah.
But even before I'd walk in and go, hey, Tone, how you doing? I go, I don't know. Okay. I don't know I didn't know I had a distinctive forehead.
Right.
It's the glasses and the voice.
But I guess maybe, man. I don't know, but
Kind of got a little look like Harry Carey with the Cubs used to have. Got a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that now. Yeah, that I cleaned up. Yeah.
Now that I cleaned up.
Now that I cleaned up. Yeah. The whole thing was, I don't know how you felt about when the shaking hands came back.
Well, so I'm still weird about that because
Yeah.
and I'm all for shaking hands. Like I've been
Yes.
vaccinated, everything,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
had it. I was testing every week, and but still, I don't know how other people react, so I get nervous. Like I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't know what to do. And I
stick
did
my hand out and have them go, "What the hell do you think
What
you're
the hell-
doing?" You
right,
know? And
right,
it's like,
right.
"Ugh."
I
Well,
did it
people are leading with the fist pump sometimes, and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Been a
but then,
couple of-
then you get the hand turkey sometimes because they go in for the handshake and then it's just,
Wait,
5
then
minutes.
the elbows come out. But I did that. I was up at my cigar store up in Salem, New Hampshire, and I was meeting one of the reps that makes one of my favorite cigars, and he put his hand out, and it was gonna be the first hand I shook
in a year
You
and a
know,
half.
in a year and a half, and I go and then I take his hand, and it's kind of wet and
Oh,
I know,
moist and
right? And you're like,
and
"Ugh."
clammy, and I go, man, and then I just go, dude, maybe I just should have fisted you.
Oh,
Yeah, and then and then there was a moment of, okay, I could have worded that differently.
Why don't I leave and we'll try this whole thing again?
Yeah, why don't we, yeah, let's see. We'll come back in and see if we come up with something.
mail me the fucking cigars.
Even going out to like I went out a couple weeks ago for the first time in a long time to see a band in like a club.
Oh,
in a
that's
small
right.
bar,
How was
right?
that?
And it was awesome, but I kind of forgot how to do things.
Yeah,
Like when I
yeah.
first got there, it's like, oh, I got to stand in line. Oh, that's right. I got to show my ID. I got to stand in line at the bar, and there's all these people around me. I'm like, I'm okay. Nobody's wearing a mask. It was weird. It was
Yeah,
like
It
I had to
feels
like
weird.
I had to get used to this whole
Yeah.
thing that was so natural to me for before the pandemic, and now it's kind of like I'm starting to it's weird how it's like it feels different now.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
you're
like
more-
when
you're
when
more
when we went to
conscious.
the home opener at
Yeah.
Fenway, I didn't realize, like, I used to live at the TD Garden or like go into events like you shoot, and then it was like it had been so long and I didn't realize, and I was driving around looking for parking. I forgot that was a thing, and then
Yeah.
walking through the ticket thing, and they scanned it, and I was like, I just go in now. Like, yeah.
Right.
Mike was talking about that. Mike Clark, when we saw your show, Tony and Lenny, it was because I hadn't seen Mike and Lenny or you in fucking,
And
I don't
ye-
know, 2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
2 years. So, but Lucia and I got down there and we saw Mike. And so that was the first thing, because there was a moment where, but he came in for the hug. So I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
boom, and
yeah,
I went
yeah.
at it. And so like Lenny came in for the hug. So it's like, but then there's still the, which one? Mike said, fuck it. And then I was asking him how the tent went because I didn't go down there. I haven't been to fucking Giggles in a while. It was before the pandemic. And he said the tent worked out well, but it was fucking weird because you definitely had to have everything spaced. And then people would come down without masks and you'd have to have that conversation. Excuse me, sir,
your mask on.
And he's like, I don't want that fucking
table.
job. I don't want that fucking job because you know some people are going to be like, fuck you. And then there's going to be a whole fucking Ronald McDonald fight in the parking lot.
Right.
I'm bringing it back to the Ronald McDonald
Ronald
fight.
McDonald. Well, that's an image you just can't get out of your head.
I picture Ronald
I
McDonald
never want that to
in the magical house and you motherfuckers in your chairs smoking cigars going, fuck off.
See, if we had a door, we could just close it and shut that all out.
Can't the
That'd be
fucking
peaceful.
who's the guy in there? What his name's always up. Who's the bartender?
Jay?
No, Pepperoni. Tony Pepperoni.
Oh yeah.
Because it says it on the fucking thing. It says it'll say Tony V, Lenny Clark, all the fucking Jackie
Johnny
Flynn,
Peasy,
and then over here it's fucking Tony Pepperoni at the bar. And I walked in and I'm like, my wife's like, "Are you Tony Pepperoni?" She goes, "That's me, honey. How you been?" I'm like, "You're bigger than the fucking comics."
Of course, he's a constant. We rotate through.
He's fucking great. No, but when are you guys back at Giggles? Are you doing some shows coming up?
I'm going to be there tomorrow night, Friday night, with Lenny, Kenny Rogerson, Johnny Peasy, and somebody I'm forgetting, and then I'm going to headline there the 16th and 17th.
Awesome.
That's my weekend there.
Also,
awesome.
I want to mention that you're doing a thing at Polar Park here in Worcester.
I was just going to mention that.
Go right ahead. Yeah, that's a big
we're doing a show for Officer Familia, the guy who tried to save the kid from drowning out there and lost his life in the process. And so, like a lot of stuff that we do, it started out with a state trooper buddy of ours calling up going, "Hey, we want to do a little something for the family. I got a buddy who has a restaurant. We're going to get a few people in there just to celebrate his life and see if we can raise a couple of bucks." And now we're doing Polar Park.
Right.
Right.
Which is
So it just sort of escalated. It's going to be
awesome.
me. Yeah. It's going to be me, Lenny, Christine Hurley, Dave Russo is going to be there. Chris Zito, who's a morning guy out that way.
Yep.
96.1, I think, is going to MC it. And, the park gave us the park, and we're going to try to jam it and see what we can do. I think
Great.
Frank Santorelli of HBO Sopranos is going to be among us. So you can call the park, and they'll tell you how to get tickets. I think you can get them right through the park, or we can figure that out.
Now, where's the green room going to be set up?
I got it right field. I think we're just going to set up chairs in right field because I think the stage is going to be home plate.
I want to see that picture up on Instagram. You're out in center field at Polar Park, just ripping a fucking.
Oh my
huge
God!
one.
If it can happen, it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Get the Polar Park in the background. Tag them
yeah.
on Instagram and be like, "Thank you,
Thank you.
It's a nice
thanks for having us."
I think I'm going to put that in my rider. The only thing I need is to be able to smoke a cigar, a big stick on the field.
Tell them you want the visitors bullpen. They'll give that to you.
Yes.
Yeah. They did that. They did that to us at Comics Come Home one year. A bunch of us were cigar smokers, and they go, "You can't smoke because our green rooms there are the dressing rooms."
Oh, right.
And then so they gave us the visitors dressing room and said,
Nice.
"Have at it."
Yes.
Just ash where the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah. I don't even think there was an ashtray in there. I think we were just, they didn't care one little bit.
Well, Polar Park's a nice place, man. I've been there a few times already.
Have you been? Yeah,
I
I've not seen it.
I
So
live
I'm
right
looking
down
forward
the
to
street,
it.
so it's like a 5-minute drive from where I live, and
Right.
the radio station I work for here, the Pike out in Worcester, is one of the one of the media partners of the Worcester Red Sox.
Oh, nice.
I get in and out of there every time. It's a great.
Well, you're going to come by the show?
Absolutely, I'm going to be
Beautiful.
there.
All right.
Yeah. It's on July 20th.
Yes,
if
it is. A
everybody wants to
Tuesday
know,
night.
and-
Yeah.
And it's for a really good cause. And the park.
Yeah,
is-
and we're trying to jam the place. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I said, it went from
Absolutely.
this to this little thing to like, hey, wait, what's the bottom bowl fill? I think we can do that.
Right.
So we're gonna try to jam it out, and it's a great cause, and you got to pay tribute to people who do shit I could never do.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a guy who thought nothing about jumping in to try to help a kid. So,
Right.
You got to honor that. And it's not going to, here's the other thing you got to tell folks, there'll be speeches and whatnot, but it's a celebration, and it's going to be a balls out comedy show.
Right.
Once we get into it. It's not going to be, it's not going to be sad or maudlin or anything like that. It's just going to, they're going to hear words in that stadium that shouldn't be said out in public.
Right.
Good.
It's not going to be family friendly Polar Park that
No,
night.
not that
But
night.
What's good about that is that a lot of Officer Familia's family and his coworkers described him as a guy with a great sense of humor and a really infectious laugh. And so I think this is something that he would probably enjoy.
He was he was apparently a huge fan of comedy. I mean, and I got this from my my buddy who asked us to do it, and his old partner, my friend's old partner, was with Officer Familia. He watched the whole thing happen and couldn't do anything. He tried but couldn't. The whole thing is just fucking tragic, and people go, well, why do you do something like that? It's because it's the only thing we know how to do.
That's what they're trained to do. Save people. What are you fucking kidding?
Right. That's what this is what I'm saying. I would, stand there, like with the Spuds McKenzie going, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm a gorilla. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really good at calling 911, just not what they do when they get there.
Yeah.
I had an incident where I was at a steakhouse, and I'll not name it, but it was a high-end steakhouse, and there was a choking incident. There was an old woman choking, and
Was this at Hilltop in Saugus?
No.
Yeah, because they're gone. You can name them.
I can admit. Well, let's say it was then.
Let's say there was a cow. There might have been a cow out front.
It might have been that they had their own choose your own steak pen.
They had the old wooden. Let's just say they had the old wooden salad bowls, and they yelled "Sioux City Party of 10." Sioux City Party of 10.
City, right?
That's one of my first jokes ever, like local jokes. I used to do, Sioux City. This I go. It wouldn't work with towns around Boston. You know what I mean? You'd hear, party of 6 for Roxborough. You go, no.
No.
Party of 4 for Lynn. That steak's gonna be well done.
All right, I interrupt you.
You couldn't do those jokes anymore anyway.
No,
but
you were talking about a lady choking.
So the lady's choking, right? And I was with my family. I think it was my wife's birthday or something. And we're having dinner, and this woman is choking, and there's chaos. And somebody literally stands up and goes, is there a doctor in here? And I didn't know that was a real thing. I thought that was just for cartoons and the Three Stooges or whatever. and I don't know if anybody knows this, but I am not a doctor. And so I was doing everything I could do to, not get in the way, which was to just continue to eat. You know what I mean? If you can't help, don't hurt. That's
and if I don't look up, I don't have to help.
Right.
So
my wife, who is never on the same page with me, starts nudging me. She goes, go do something. Go help. I go, honey, you've known me for 40 years. What am I going to do? What skills do I bring to this? There's virtually no situation where someone goes, oh my God, someone's choking. Is there a comedian in here?
She's turning fucking blue.
Oh, right. So you walk over. Two old ladies walk into a restaurant.
One starts choking. Oh,
pull my finger. That's all I got.
And then you step over the body. Can I have a fucking beer?
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I mean, so the fire station was like right across the street. They came, they Heimlicked her. And now here's the best part of this whole story is they Heimlich her. I mean, there's mayhem everywhere. Tables are flying. She spits out whatever she's gagging on. They leave. She continues to eat.
Right. She's just
I
like,
gotta finish the meal.
Right. Like it was just a speed bump in her day. Like, well, that happened. I guess,
don't want to waste the steak.
Of course.
I'll just cut my pieces smaller.
That's a $48 steak right there. Right?
If I stop eating, the steak wins.
Wins, right. Can I get a blender over here?
Wow. Those Hilltop steaks are pretty fucking pricey, even though the Hilltop.
The great
Doesn't
thing about that
exist.
story is, and it's like a common thing, it's like your wife says to you, why don't you go do something?
Right. Why not you?
You, right?
Right. I'm with you.
Go fucking do something.
You
especially
have more
now.
skills than I do. You at least have empathy.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't care, but you do. So you'll do a
Right.
better job.
Right. I said to myself, there's an 85-year-old woman choking. If you haven't learned to chew by now, I
No.
don't think you're getting it.
You've had a good life.
Right.
Yeah.
When do you learn
Leave
to
some
chew?
steak for the kids.
Right.
But it's always like that. It's like, oh, you don't know, women have always been oppressed or something, but it's like, oh, you got to call the guy to have him come fix the house or something
Right.
like
Right.
that. It's like, oh, well,
Right.
why can't you do
Why
that?
can't you do? You get up on
No.
the ladder. Go
Just
ahead.
once, I want a woman to plan out an anniversary,
Yeah.
right? Instead of it's like, it's up to the guy.
No,
Valentine's
no.
Day anniversaries, always up to
Oh,
the
it's
guy.
the guy. Right. And you
All
never
the
get it
pressure's
right.
on the, even in
It's
commercials.
a losing
like,
proposition.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
You
like
know?
that's like Bill Burr's bit. Who do they negotiate for in hostage situations first? Women and children. Bullets hurt me too.
Absolutely
Those
correct.
kinds of situations, though, when like that old woman choking, you really learn about who you are. Like that time when we were on
Orange.
AAF shoe, and I went to Jim's Deli in Brighton, and the car flipped, and
Oh,
I
right. Yeah.
I hesitated to go help because I had sandwiches in my hand, and I was like, I can't put these down.
No,
But
you were
there's a
right.
car.
You were right to think that because one of those sandwiches was mine.
Ah,
That was the priority was to get me my sandwich.
priorities, sure.
But I
All right,
really
so
had to
that's
think
what
about
we
it. I was
started.
like, I
That's
can't
not
put
my
these
fault.
down.
I have in my life saved 4 people from drowning.
Okay.
For real?
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I'm not a skilled survivalist. I just happen, and I do it reluctantly. I don't know how you guys feel about when you're in a situation like that. You know what I mean? My first thought isn't to go like, oh my God, someone's drowning. I got to go save them. My first thought is, fuck, is anyone else here? God damn it, it's me.
I don't have my trunks on. I don't want to go into my pants.
Jeez, I just took a shower.
Josh, I've got these sandwiches.
Yes.
I mean,
It's the same feeling, right?
well, that's the whole
I'm not gonna get-
premise for the entire Seinfeld series, if you think about it, because at the last episode, when the 4 of them are they're all narcissistic, crazy motherfuckers, right?
Right,
And
right.
all of them are always talking about themselves. And when
Themselves.
they got arrested in that last episode, and the judge is bringing back characters from a bunch of the seasons, and they're all just like saying the most ridiculous fucking self-centered bullshit, where they're always like, can someone else fucking, like, I think they looked across the street at a mugging in that last
Yeah.
episode, and they
Right.
didn't do a fucking thing
They didn't
about
do
it
anything, right?
because they're like, I gotta go. I got a sandwich to
I
eat.
can't get involved in this.
Oh,
Yeah.
And also, speaking of Seinfeld,
Yes.
Tony, you were in Seinfeld. Do you remember that?
I do recall that.
Okay,
That was
all right,
in the
cool, cool, cool.
90s. So we have a better shot. We have a better shot. At
You
that.
weren't as fucked up.
No, not as fucked up.
But the Chuck Berry
How was
one-
that experience? How was that?
That was a great experience. I mean, that was a, there was a time there in the 90s. I was splitting my time between here and Los Angeles, and I had a nice little run of doing guest spots on sitcoms. I did a couple of Unhappily Ever Afters. I did Seinfeld. I did a couple HBO shows. I did Boston Common with Anthony Clark, and so I was having a nice little run. I had a couple of small deals and stuff like that. So it was, like I thought, like, oh, maybe there's something in this for me, So when I got that, when I got Seinfeld, I had done a showcase at the Laugh Factory, and the guy who was the casting director at Seinfeld just happened to be there.
Nice.
I was in a bungalow on I think it was the Radcliffe lot out there, and I was reading for Boston Legal.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I was in the middle of doing a thing for Bobcat Goldthwait on HBO. So they gave me my lunch hour to go do this reading, and I'm sitting there. The Boston Legal one didn't go quite as well as I had hoped, but as I'm walking down the corridor, this guy, he goes, "Hey, did I see you at the Laugh Factory the other night?" Just like that. I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Tony, right?" I go, "Yeah, Tony V, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "We got something right around the corner you might be right for. When you're done here, just come on over."
Nice.
So I go, "Okay." So I go and there's a bunch of people. And this is the thing you got to get used to in LA, especially. You walk into a room and there's 12 of you in that room. You know what I
You're
mean?
looking for that kind of
right.
look, that Harry Carey look.
Yeah. There's a older you, a younger you, a fatter you, a skinnier you, a hairier you. It's just insane, Wow. So so once you get past that, it's very fun. So I go in and I go to do the read. They give me the sides and I do the reading for Seinfeld, and they're all eating lunch while they're listening to me, and they chuckle and blah, blah, blah. And I go, "Okay, well, that was fun to do." And I walk out.
You said goodbye to yourself 12 times.
12 times. I said, "Good luck, me, and me." And,
one of us is going to get it.
Got to get this, right? So as I get out into the waiting room, the casting director comes out and goes, "Tony, could you just wait a minute?" And I go, "Yeah, sure." So I sit back down and another person goes in, he comes and leaves, another person goes in and they leave. And, so I'm sitting there and then all of a sudden I'm the only one sitting there. And I go, "This is either really good or really bad." I was either so horrible that they wanted to have a word with me afterwards or this is going to work out just fine. And so then literally they come out and they go, "Where are you parked?" And it's no welcome, nothing like that. They go, "Where are you parked?" They go, "On the street." They go, move your car onto the lot. We're going to rehearse." And I go,
wow, cool.
Okay. And within, I'm going to say within 25 minutes, that whole thing happened.
Wow. Shit. Wow. And that was on your fucking lunch break.
That was on my lunch break. I had to call HBO, the people I was working for at HBO, and go like, "Hey, they want me to rehearse for Seinfeld. Is that okay?" And they go, yeah, we'll shoot around you. Yeah, they were all very good about it. Yeah.
That's great.
Such class.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
place,
it took 25
right
minutes. Yeah. And the set was great. It was a lot of fun. They were, show business is so weird when it's working. Like, it would be a Tuesday afternoon and we're doing a dress rehearsal or whatever. And they'd come by and go, "Would you like a Sunday?" I go, "What?" They go,
"Sure.
The Sunday wagon's coming." I go, "There's a Sunday wagon?" Every Tuesday, the Sunday, and a truck pulls up with Sunday fixings. Everybody breaks for an hour, and people sitting around eating ice cream in the middle of the job. And I go, right now there's a construction worker up 40 flights with a bologna sandwich going, I got the life.
Sure, you would want it to be an Italian sandwich bus.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Oh, they had Italians. They had cappuccino day. They had sushi day. There was all kinds of days. It was insane.
Yeah,
no pie truck.
There was no pie. Unfortunately, there was no pie truck.
The couple of movies that I worked on that mostly I just sat around. I was just I was an extra. It's just a lot of sitting around, as you know.
Yeah.
The catering was so awesome.
Really?
Oh my God.
Was always, and there was tons of it. And it was so. One time we had to film. It was for that movie. What was it? 21. Kevin Spacey was in it.
Yeah.
We had to film in Chinatown.
Oh yeah. Bringing down the house.
Yeah, and so we were at the China Pearl, and there's hundreds of us on both floors sitting there, and then the catering people roll in. I'm like, this is fucked up. They have some catering service coming in, setting up in a restaurant that has, that's already ready to go and stuff.
You're a restaurant.
But the food was fucking always amazing. It was always really good, man. Yeah.
That was never the case with radio.
Yeah. What?
That wasn't the case in radio. It was always shit.
Yes,
No,
but
not
you
true.
had
Every now and then you hit goal.
Well,
Some clients were good, but others were like, "Do you really think people are gonna fucking eat this just because I am on the radio? Really?"
Well, the
Yeah,
movie
but what
Patriots Day,
movie-
that food sucked. It was just they
Really?
said it was Subway. I think it met Subway at some point, but it
Ooh.
wasn't.
That questionable Subway tuna. That might
Oh
not
yeah,
be
I was like, is this?
Oh,
did they
there's
substitute
no
this with
tuna.
cat food?
It's Soylent
Yeah.
Green. It's probably
Yeah.
people, you know.
man.
I can't. do
How do
Subway.
people get away? Didn't they have yoga material in their bread for a while?
Oh,
That was another
don't-
thing. The same thing that they use in yoga mats, they found in their bread.
Oh,
in
geez.
Subway subs?
Really?
In Subway subs, yeah. Look, I
That's
think that was the
fucking gross.
first one. It's some kind of cellulose additive, and then
Jesus
and
Christ!
then the government of Ireland said that there was so much sugar in their bread that they had to classify it as cake.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Now,
I
see,
mean,
that's
when
an
the
idea.
Irish government is telling
Right,
you,
right,
When
right.
ripping on your
People who
food,
were no
right?
doubt shit faced when they decided it.
Yeah. That's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
Opening up a sandwich place instead of bread, use cake.
Cake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Oh,
idea.
God.
Well, there's that famous, afternoon tea cheeseburger that's in a Krispy Kreme donut.
What?
There's a what do they call it? The
Oh.
ladies' brunch burger. It was that Paula Dean invented it.
Right,
It's a cheeseburger in a glazed donut.
Right.
Oh my
They-
god!
They have that at
Yeah.
the Big E in Springfield. They call it the Craze E burger, and it's instead of a bun, it's 2 glazed donuts, and you put the
Yeah.
cheeseburger in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was that fucking stroke after that?
I had one. I had a nap. I did. I had to sit
Oh,
in
I
the
can
car before
imagine.
I headed back home. I just had to sleep for a
Nah,
little
that's
bit.
got to be a coma right there. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's wow.
Yeah,
good
I mean,
stuff,
when your
though.
arteries slow down that much, I mean, you-
Yeah.
you just gotta.
Yeah.
That's something that'll be actually as we rag on it, but it's going to be nice to get back out to festivals. You were talking about concerts, Mike. Whether it be music festivals or the Big E, going out and just fucking
Yeah.
eating the shit and being around people. Who was it that we had on? We had on Jackie Flynn. Isn't his family owned
Fried dough. Anna's
Right,
fried dough.
Anna's fucking
Yeah,
fried
forever.
dough.
Yep. Yep.
I'm looking up some stuff on this cat and all this, and I'm like, all the shows he's been on, like Anna's. What the fuck is this? So on the podcast, I started to read the slug line of Anna's fried dough, and he
Fried
starts
dough.
laughing.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be good to go to the Topsfield Fair. Haven't been there, but I'm gonna make sure we go do all shit like that. Like the Big E, I'm really looking forward to that. That was such a cool thing to go to as a kid.
Although I have to say it's been nice for the past year telling people that I never, it's kind of nice having an excuse not to get together too.
True.
Yeah,
With some people, it's like, hey, why don't you come over for dinner? I don't know.
I'm just trying to be
COVID.
safe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be safe.
Yeah, it's good.
She
Right
did
now-
that to me 2 weeks ago. I was in fucking Worcester. He's like, I don't really feel
I
well.
was
I'm like,
legit
you fucking.
because-
I
come
was
on.
at fucking Coney Island calling you. And I don't feel good. Bullshit.
Is it right?
I hadn't slept in 2 days, and I had shit to do, man.
I didn't decide to take a
going
fucking
on?
morning gig at fucking 51. That's your fucking problem.
Hey, well, as soon as the mask mandate got lifted, I got another excuse. Now I just blame it all on the baby. So,
Right.
Yes. Oh, he's really good
okay.
at that.
Yeah.
How old's the baby?
5 weeks today.
Oh my, that's they smell the best then.
Oh shit! It was like
Until they
20
fit their
minutes
bag.
after. I was like, "Were you inside my wife? You already smell like a baby. Like how?
They-
Where does that?"
yeah, oh, they smell new. Like if you would have sniffed me, you'd go, oh, this guy's way past fresh.
But like even when she burps on my face, I'm like,
Right.
"That smells good."
Oh, wait till the first time she pukes in your mouth and you don't care. That's
Oh.
when you know. That's when you know you're a dad.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
When,
yeah.
when you have feces on your face and you're like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the cutest thing ever.
Oh, right.
You know?
This little piece right here, this
Yeah.
is the promo for the show.
I mean, it is weird though. I was nervous about getting like poop on my hands and stuff, but it's
Yeah.
when it's your daughter, you
just-
don't.
It's just natural. Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Second day my
I
daughter
am,
was on this planet, she peed in my hand and I cried.
Yeah.
I cried. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever.
oh yeah.
You know? So
Oh,
yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, I've had a face full of my son's urine.
Okay.
Right?
Well, hold on.
But that was
That's the
only
promo.
that was only last week. It is
Okay.
23.
Oh, God.
It's maybe we shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that one. But
Yeah.
it's I can actually trace my daughter being alive all the way back to Tony V, which is a weird.
That is weird.
Where are we
very
going
weird.
with this?
Because the reason I met my wife was because of doing stand-up comedy. And the first time I ever did stand-up comedy, Tony V brought me up, and it was like a comedy competition in like Boston. I forget how I found it. I had never done it before, didn't think I could do it, and I was watching. Like, you only got a minute and a half or something, and I was just watching everyone go up and eat it, and I was like, at some point Tony's gonna say my name, and I was literally about to get up and leave. I was like, count to 10 and then leave, and I got to maybe like 6, and then you said my name, and then
Right.
if you said my name like 20 seconds later, I would have been gone. But
It's all your fault, Tony.
Fate.
It is.
It's
So
all-
basically
everything's
that-
my fault. You know,
so
there's
that
a
baby
lot
is
of people.
Tony's? Is that what you're saying? The baby
Yes.
is really Tony's?
I'm looking for money, so
All right.
You
For
know,
collecting child support.
I've decided that, when we no longer have to physically distance,
Mm.
socially distance, but I'm going to continue to emotionally be distant
Good.
because I'm
Good.
really good at that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You know,
like
I
that.
know how to separate what I care about and what I don't.
Well,
And
go
I
back
don't
to the
care about
choking
a
lady.
lot. Yes,
Right.
I really didn't give a shit. I really did not care.
If you're eating around Tony V, just chew your food. Chew your
Right.
food.
If
Right.
if you there's one takeaway from this today, it's chew. The world is for chewers.
Exactly. The one takeaway we do have is, Shu, you got to go take your daughter to work.
I
Oh,
gotta take
God.
my daughter to work.
Hey,
Thank
if
God
your
she
daughter
gets a
pees
job.
in your hand today, that's fucking weird.
Then that's like an emergency room visit now. So
We got to go from work right to the Worcester
Right.
Hospital.
yeah, exactly. So Tony,
Well,
thank
Tony,
you so
anything you
much,
want to
man.
plug?
Just
Yeah.
that July 20th in
Park,
Worcester
Polar
at
Park.
the Polar Park.
Yeah, everybody.
It's for a great cause.
Yep.
Please come out to that.
and also
Awesome.
Giggles July 16th and 17th. Is that right?
16th and 17th. Yes.
Love
yes.
it. Tony, thank you so
You
much.
can
This was
find
a
him in
lot
the
of
back
fun, man.
smoking
Thanks for having.
cigars.
Thanks. Yes. Anywhere.
Get the
You
fucking
come by
door.
my house right now. As soon as I hang up from this,
Get the
that's what I'm
door.
gonna be
Get the
doing.
door at Giggles.
All right. Hey, Tony.
Thanks,
for your time,
guys.
man.
Thanks.